So why do we most often compliment people on their appearance?
Because maybe they're not that good at their job.
You're listening to Workplace Inappropriate, where HR professionals and their guests discuss real workplace scenarios to answer the question, what is workplace inappropriate? Co-hosts and HR professionals Kearin Lowry, Kate Owen, and Zoe Grahl of WorkforcePositive.com won't bore you with employment law or get righteous about workplace conduct. Instead, they're going to answer real questions, like should I dance on the table at the Christmas party? Or can I tell someone their clothes are workplace inappropriate? Kearin, Kate, Zoe, and their guests are lifting the lid on some HR juice and losing the HR fun police tag. With their A-plus HR advice, you can have fun and still keep your job. Now, here are your hosts, Kearin, Kate, and Zoe.
Welcome to the Workplace Inappropriate podcast brought to you by Workforce Positive. My name's Kearin Lowry and I'm the Director of Workforce Positive, and I'm here with my guests today, Kate Owen.
Hello.
Hello, Kate. Welcome back. And our regular Joe off the street. Hey, Joe.
How you going?
Pretty good.
Excellent.
We've asked Joe in today, who's preferred to remain nameless, to get a male perspective on some of our topics.
Yes.
Because allegedly, it's just women's opinion that's not good enough, Kate.
No, it's not, apparently.
No, it's not.
Well, we're looking forward to the diversity, so thanks for joining us, Joe.
No worries. Just need to make up the numbers.
Look, we had a quota, one only.
Mm-hmm.
Tick.
Tick the box. Thank
Is that
you.
what people think of quotas?
I believe so, yes.
So, our topic today, workplace compliments.
Yeah.
Well, before we get to quotas, which we're not going to cover today, let's talk a little bit about Workforce Positive and why we do this podcast. Welcome to the Workplace Inappropriate podcast brought to you by Workforce Positive. My name's Kearin Lowry and I'm the Director of Workforce Positive, and we'll take a couple of moments just to tell you a little bit about us. We're a HR consulting firm. We're based in Queensland in Australia, and our passion is to fortify our client businesses against risk, to formulate their success pathway towards their future realised. And as a business owner, I know that your future realised is the zenith of all your plans and goals, all the hopes and dreams that you had when you started your business. So how do we do that? Well, we do all the usual things that you'd expect. Employment contracts, we do recruitment, we do success profiling, we do individual performance, learning and development plans, and we run workshops and team building. But what we're really passionate about is bullying and harassment prevention. The Workplace Inappropriate podcast is part of that purpose that we feel strongly about. Creating workplaces where people feel safe to be themselves, they feel heard, and they know they can come to work and enjoy friendships and engagement with customers and their job, and they don't have to worry about being harassed or bullied or sexually assaulted. That's our ideal workplace and an ideal outcome from our prevention programs. So in our episodes, we're going to discuss everyday things that happen in workplaces all the time. And sometimes they mean nothing. And sometimes they can lead to a very bad outcome for the employees and for the business. So today, we're going to talk about something that's pertinent and interesting, hopefully, and give you some tips about how you can show up and do your best at work and be workplace appropriate. If you have any ideas for our podcast, we'd love to hear them. We'd love to hear topics and questions. Q&A is always open every month for you to submit your questions. And if you're interested as a business owner in learning more about how you can create better workplace interactions and prevent bullying and harassment, then please engage with us. Give us a call on 0746 02 9990 or contact us through the website workforcepositive.com to talk to us about our prevention programs. We have an efficient, effective, cost-effective program that you can access on a monthly or annual basis. It's my pleasure to bring you this podcast and I hope you enjoy it. Let's take a moment to introduce the people that make this podcast possible. We have Kate. Kate is our HR program coordinator and my executive assistant at Workforce Positive. She's a current HR student at university studying business management, majoring in HR and maybe accounting, but she hasn't decided yet. Kate's passionate about equity. She loves to do the right thing and she has an incredible work ethic. As a person, she's just a pleasure to have around and so funny. But do watch out for her hockey stick. We have Zoe. Zoe is also a student at the Australian National University studying psychology and international business. She's in her second year and about to jet set off to the UK for a vacation internship or exchange program. I think that's what it's called, an exchange program. Zoe has an incredible interest in communication, psychology, diversity, and she brings all of her own work experiences and experiences at university to the table. She loves to know why things happen, why people communicate, and how they can go astray sometimes. We also have our regular Joe off the street. Now, regular Joe, he represents just that, regular Joe. He's all about not being politically correct, not being censored, saying what you think, and letting everyone just be themselves. So thank you to Kate, Zoe, and Joe off the street for bringing your talents to the show. So don't let me keep you from this episode any longer. What could be bad about a compliment, right?
A lot.
A lot, apparently.
Why?
Well, I would say that sexual harassment, a lot of it stems from the workplace compliment side of things.
People feel harassed by compliments?
Depends on how they're given and who they're given by, but yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. What about you, Kate? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I think compliments can make someone feel uncomfortable. I know as like a woman, you get complimented a lot and you just don't really know how to respond.
Oh, what a shame that must be to get complimented all the time.
No, but that's fair. Well, as a ratio, how often do you think a woman gets a compliment versus a man?
Oh, I would say, what, 100 to 1? 1,000 to 1?
Is that just because we put more effort into our appearance?
Look, to be honest, I have no idea. That's why I'm just a regular Joe.
Why does it have to be a compliment about our appearance, though?
Oh,
Yeah, well,
that's
that's the difference.
I jumped to
between-
appearance straight
But
away.
it always has been appearance, so like you never really get complimented on anything else.
Not our brains.
Yeah, definitely not our brains.
Maybe if you're really good looking, then you get complimented on how you look. But if you're really intelligent, you get complimented on being really intelligent. I'm not sure. I try and stay away from giving compliments, period, ever.
So you exercise caution.
Yep.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Why exercise caution?
So you don't get into trouble.
What kind of trouble?
Harassment, there's probably a big one. Bullying, there's another one.
Yeah.
But obviously the comment would come down to how it's given and what it's about. Like if you say to somebody, oh, you did a really good job on that presentation, that's a compliment that can't be construed as anything wrong with that, especially because it's focused on your work.
Yep.
If you say, oh, I really liked how you were standing, that dress made you look great when you're doing that presentation, nah, probably not.
Brown brow.
Yeah, probably give you a strike. Right there.
How many strikes do you get?
3.
3 strikes.
3 strikes and you're out.
So workplace praise, so recognition of work. So we're comfortable that saying, you did a great presentation, congratulations. That's 100% okay.
Yep. I think they found that other than remuneration, workplace compliments or noticing that you've done a good job, I don't know what the word is, what's the word I'm looking for?
Recognition?
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
So workplace recognition is second to remuneration. So if you feel valued at work, that's an important thing. And the way you do that is by giving constructive feedback, good compliments about your work, not about your appearance or your attire or...
Yeah.
I agree with that.
So it's interesting. So when I hear compliment, I immediately thought of appearance.
Yeah.
But then we kind of turn the topic to recognition. So I think let's just clear the path there and say, if you're giving someone feedback, positive feedback, that's workplace appropriate it's about their work. And I think I have this theory that we actually give compliments to actually make people feel better, to feel good. Like we're trying to create positivity. And often our go-to is, oh, hey, I can see you've got a new dress. So, oh, I like your dress.
Yeah, but that's not work-related. See, so like if I say that to Kate, I say, oh, Kate, I really like your outfit. That's not the same as how you said it.
No.
It's going to be interpreted way differently. So that's why if you're a dude,
probably
best to not do it at all.
All right, can we just talk about another thing that happened today? So I rock up to work and driving towards me is Kate's number plate in a different car, right? I'm like, I think Kate's got a new car. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. Now, every guy at work, there are no guys at our workplace, but let's say a whole bunch of guys at our work said, love your car.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Because they're commenting the car rather than the person.
Yes. Okay. So again, we're saying workplace compliments related to anything work-related, not appearance-related are okay. So that kind of attention's all right. So why do we most often compliment people on their appearance?
Because maybe they're not that good at their job. Or maybe it's because you actually want them to notice you. So I believe that from a man's point of view anyway, 9 times out of 10, the reason why you're giving someone a compliment of the opposite sex, for example.
Or someone that you might be attracted to.
Yeah, let's go. Someone that you might be attracted to is generally because you want them to notice you. So by you going, oh, you look really great today, they go, oh, thanks very much, Joe. And you're like, oh, that person at least knows my name. They've at least paid me a little bit of attention.
Yeah.
Great, I'll do that again. And so that's why.
And that's how stalking starts. No.
Well, hopefully it takes a little bit more than that otherwise.
I think the reason that we compliment someone's appearance so much more than anything else is because it's the first thing we see. You know, like if I change my hair, like that's something you're going to notice straight away, or
It's something I'll notice.
yeah.
I might not notice for weeks, probably months.
In a year's time. Kate, did you do something with your hair in the last year? Yes, I did.
And that'll only be because you told me. So
Yeah, so we notice people and we tell them. Okay, so what about saying to someone, I see you've lost weight?
Yeah, no.
I don't think that's a good idea ever.
I've been told that heaps of times because I have a cycle of losing weight and putting it back on. All the time people say, oh, have you lost weight?
I think,
and I used to think, yeah, I have. Thanks for noticing. But now I'm like,
I think commenting on someone's weight or their, anything like that is just a no-go zone.
It's fraught with danger.
Yeah.
we've turned
Never,
the
ever
corner.
ask
That's no
anyone
longer considered
when
okay, right?
No.
Because 10
yeah.
years ago, that would have been completely acceptable.
Well, I don't know. It depends on how you ask it. But I would suggest that never in a million years would you ever ask anyone when they're due.
Oh, pregnant.
Ever.
Oh, no, yeah, no.
Even if
But they
you
might
know
be
that they're
glowing.
pregnant. Even if you know they're pregnant, don't say, oh,
When are you due?
yeah. Oh, what? I look fat, do I? Well,
Oh,
hey, I have noticed a bit of swelling in the ankles. I'm not going to say anything, but I have noticed.
it's like the opposite of compliments we're getting into now. Oh, you're looking different.
Yeah, but so correct me if I'm wrong, but women can give a backhanded compliment very easily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's one of our many gifts. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I would say. And
Was that a backhanded?
no,
Was that a good example?
I think so, yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Like when a bitchy woman might say, oh, you look so good in that dress, when you know, for example, for a fact that they don't.
Oh.
Might be a mutton dressed up as lamb. But you say that anyway, just to be facetious.
Oh.
Mm.
Are you sure that people say people look nice when they don't?
Yeah. I would say that they do.
Oh. See, that's
I
not
agree.
nice.
I agree. A
Yeah.
lot of women do that.
I'm
Okay.
glad that you haven't been affected by such things, but I have seen it happen. And you're like, just don't say it.
I think we're on a little bit of a topic here. Like, you're saying that men will only really give a compliment if they want to get noticed, but women usually give compliments to other women all of the time, like constantly.
Ah.
So what are we talking about here? So
I don't know. What have we touched on?
I don't know. Is it complimenting women a little bit of bully, like you're saying backhand, backhand
Yeah,
compliments?
we've all watched Mean Girls, surely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great movie, by the
Can't
way.
sit with us.
Yeah, that's right.
What's the thing? Just,
Oh, that skirt is fetch or something?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's so fetch.
And then it's the
Yeah.
ugliest big skirt I've ever seen.
Exactly.
Oh, see, I didn't know this scene.
You don't know that scene? That's the
No.
most famous scene.
Yeah.
That's the ugliest effing skirt I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But she complimented the girl.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Mm.
So she'll keep wearing the ugly skirt.
Mm.
Exactly.
Oh.
So, but if a woman was to give a man a compliment and they'd say, oh, that's a nice shirt, there's a good chance that dude's going to wear that shirt again.
Like every day.
Well, yeah. Until it smells so bad that he has to physically wash it because that woman at the office, who I think is pretty hot, said that she liked this shirt. So I'm going to keep wearing this shirt because she said she liked it.
Gotcha.
Because we don't understand that sometimes you just say stuff to be mean.
Well, maybe they're saying because they like the shirt.
Yeah, which is great. And that's why we'll wear it.
Uh-huh.
But then that'll turn into, oh, you see that Joe? He's worn that same shirt for 5 days in a row. I wish he'd get a new one. But you're going to tell Kate that. You're not going to tell me. I'm
Well,
gonna be
no,
running around.
someone's going to tell HR to tell Joe to have a shower or wear some deodorant because that will definitely end up in the HR's office.
Yeah, and all Joe's trying to do is impress people.
Get his love interest's attention.
Yeah.
Okay, well, often our conversations end up going down the path of what is the appropriate line if you were interested in someone in the workplace. So the workplace compliments are probably part of that story. So you said a man will give a woman a compliment to say to them that I know that you have done something nice or look good so that they know that you've noticed them.
They know that you know that you
I think what you're trying to say is that a man might give a woman a compliment so that she notices him. And the way he does that, you can't, in a workplace, can't go, oh, can I buy you a drink?
Yeah.
But you can go, oh, you look good in that dress, or...
Okay, so let's say that we want to open up that conversation and say, you look nice today, or you look, that dress is nice, or you've got a new dress or something. You want to say that is a compliment that you could test the waters with if you had an interest in this person?
I think that would be a gently test the water.
One toe in the water.
Yeah.
Okay, so Joe,
Yeah.
what if
Yes, Joe is my name, not Bob. So keep going, yes.
So, Joe, what if you didn't know the person, like the girl didn't know the man whatsoever, and he wants to just get noticed, so he just randomly compliments her. Like, what would we classify that as? Because I know if I just got randomly complimented by a man, and it happens a lot, you get very uncomfortable.
Yeah, so I suppose it depends on the compliment as well.
Maybe not on day one.
Yeah, like it depends on the compliment. So don't quote me, but if you've watched the movie Hitch at all, and I think it's a fairly good movie in the sense that one of the things that he talks about is how to get noticed. And so in that movie, if you remember, I can't remember his name, but the bigger guy is really interested in the hot chick, Cole, I think her name is.
Yeah,
anyway,
she's Allegra Cole.
Yeah. And so he goes and makes a big show. Obviously, I'm not suggesting that you do this, by basically resigning in front of her.
Yes.
Just so that
stands
she
up for her.
Yeah, stands up for her. So she notices him, and then she comes to the office afterwards and says, oh, look, really appreciate you standing up and taking a stand. And so that's an extreme. But he did that so that she would notice him. Does that make sense? So what you're talking about, I think, there is if a dude's like just randomly walking down the street and he goes, oh, nice legs, like that's A, not in the workplace, and B, you know, is just a throwaway comment that,
But
it's like one step away from whistling.
Yeah, cackling. But it could still be like in the workplace. Like, you know, some workplaces can be really, really big.
Yeah.
And, you know, you might not work very, very closely with someone and then they are complimenting you all the time.
Yes.
I feel like it'd be very uncomfortable, especially in the workplace when you want to feel safe.
So how come you don't know this person that's given you a dozen compliments? Because, like, I don't know, but I'm just saying if someone gives me a compliment in the workplace, I'm like, who's that? Why is she talking to me?
Yeah.
I mean, like the first time they give you a compliment. But I don't know. But Kearin, like, do you, and Joe, when you get given a compliment, how do you react?
Yeah. So we're kind of like nice girls say thank you, right?
Yeah.
Which is a problem. You can say thank you, but if the whole purpose of giving a compliment is to get noticed, then we have an issue in the sense that it's like, well, I appreciate that you like my dress, but you don't need to tell me.
It's like, I know my dress is nice. You don't have to tell me.
Yeah.
I know.
Because then we run the risk of being like hostile and being a bitch, right? Because we're just meant to accept compliments even if we don't want them.
Yeah, well, so I suppose that comes to, from a guy's point of view, you don't get that many compliments. So if someone gives you a compliment, you're like, thanks, man, that was great. Yeah, I have been working out of the gym. Yes, this is a new shirt. Yes, I have just done my hair done. Thank you. Someone noticed, because no one else normally says anything. And so I think that's why dudes struggle when they give a compliment and it just gets thrown straight back in your face, like, how dare you, or back off, or you grubby person, or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, well, hang on.
So I think girls have an issue in the sense that if we're nice and say, oh, thank you, it is a new dress, then your brain receptors are going, okay, that was well received, and that, you know, that's a positive.
Yeah, but are we talking about in the workplace?
We're at work.
Trying to pick up, or we're just trying to thank someone for doing a good job?
No. We agree that thanking someone for a good job is over there in the appropriate pile. This is the appropriate pile.
Yeah. From a dude's point of view, I'm only commenting on your dress if I'm interested in you.
Yes, we're going down that pathway. As our regular Joe off the street, how does a woman get a compliment from a man about how she looks? How does she politely let him know that whilst he has noticed her, she's not interested?
Well, how would you do it? Like I would say that if you've said that and they just, oh, thanks very much, Joe, and then that's it, you're like, oh, okay. And if you say something else again and they're like, thanks very much, Joe, and that's it.
Yeah.
Well, that should be it. Like you shouldn't need to sit down and go, Joe, I'm not bloody interested in you, mate. If you give me another compliment, I'm going to report you to HR. Like...
We shouldn't need to, but it's something so Zoe and I had this chat, and I think it came up in one of our previous podcasts where she said sometimes, you know, you're at work, you want to be friendly. You know, you don't want to be known as, you know, you can't say hello to that person. Your professional reputation is important. So being friendly doesn't always mean that there's anything more than a platonic interest. So how do you get a compliment from someone about how you look and still be friendly and maintain workplace harmony, but make it clear that there's nothing going on for you?
I think just saying thank you is the right way to go, because if you were interested, so say Joe was gonna compliment you and he was interested in you.
Right.
And you want to make sure that you want him to know that you're also interested.
Yeah.
I feel like what you would do if he complimented you, you would compliment him back.
So observations to look for, compliments back.
So like if I go, hey, Joe, I really like your shirt. Joe goes, oh, thank you, but your dress just looks way better than mine. That's whereas if Joe was just like, oh, thank you, and just moved on, it's just a...
Because women, I'm sure, would give a compliment to a man, and if he just kind of went, thanks very much, and just turned around and paid you note, you'd be like, oh, okay, so he's probably not interested then. Yeah,
Okay.
like, you can't put brains in monuments. So if a dude's just not getting it, or if someone's just not getting it, I think then you probably have to talk to someone and say, because in the workplace...
I'd rather talk to them first. I'd rather say to them, I notice the compliments. I say thank you, but I actually probably happy. I'd like you to know that we're work friends.
But that, you saying, look, we're just work friends.
Yeah.
I can't see that would be or could be construed as you being difficult or, not being nice. Whereas because you see it happen where it just tears a man to shreds, tears a person to shreds. It doesn't have to be a man.
Yeah, well,
the
rejection.
Yeah, there's
can be
a
harsh.
nice way and an easy and a not nice way of rejecting somebody or saying, look, thanks, but I'm not interested.
So I think we can agree. So the brush off, so if you're giving a workplace compliment that is about appearance because you are interested in someone, then things to look for are the brush off. So if someone's nice but brief, doesn't try to maintain any further conversation with you, doesn't return the compliment, they're probably not interested, but they're just being nice because they're at work.
Correct.
Okay. Yep. So let's say you get a good reaction. Are there any kind of compliments that you wouldn't give at work?
Well, I don't know what a good reaction is, but compliments you wouldn't give at work. Ones that I think are crossing the line of could be friendly but also a bit playful. Like if you were to say something that was more sexual in nature, your tits look great, or I can't wait till those legs are wrapped around my head. Comments like that are going to get you into trouble, and you don't need to say them at work. Wait till you're at home messaging on Tinder. That's fine.
Okay. So what about you've got pretty eyes?
Well, so I don't know. For me, that line's been used so many times to try and pick women up in a bar. That would be the same.
I don't think that's workplace okay.
No, that's what I mean. I don't think it's workplace appropriate.
Yeah. I think even if you're going to try and compliment someone to pick them up, I think don't do it at work. If you want to compliment someone and say that they have pretty eyes, I feel like compliments can be very difficult because I feel like the line of compliments is if someone is changed, something has changed about that person since the last time you've seen, I think that's okay for a compliment. Whereas if they're just the same every day and you see them the same every day, I feel like there doesn't need to be a compliment. Do you know what I mean?
That makes sense.
Yeah, I think so.
So if I like changing hair, that's an easy one, changed hair. Oh, I really like your hair, even though Joe's not going to notice I changed my hair.
I don't even know what bangs are. What are bangs, by the way?
Fringe.
Fringe, yeah. See, I wouldn't notice that. And I certainly wouldn't comment on it either because, maybe you didn't mean to do it. Maybe you don't like it. I don't know.
But
it's Kate being polite.
Yeah, that's
Thanks,
a polite
Joe.
way of Joe saying, shut up, Joe.
Shut up, Joe.
I got it, but I'm not going to listen to you.
Have glandular fever, I am out of it.
You're doing good, honey.
I was going to say something I've completely forgotten. Thanks, Joe.
I have that effect on women. They don't know what they're thinking.
Such a small ego, our friend Joe. Thanks, Joe. Well, I think where we've come to is workplace compliments should be about work, not about the person.
Or their appearance.
If you are going to step into the very dangerous territory of giving a workplace compliment because you do actually have an attraction to somebody, then be very careful to observe the reaction that you get. Just because they're nice back doesn't necessarily mean that they're interested and doesn't necessarily mean that you should compliment them every day. Let them come back to you.
Well, I think it needs to be a two-way street. Just the same as if you were at a bar and you buy someone a drink. If they're not sticking around, it's not a two-way street. They're not interested. Same deal. If you give a compliment and they're like, yeah, thanks very much, and then just totally move on, probably you should too. And just wait till the Christmas work party and then feed some drinks into yourself until you get some more courage up to go in again.
That's definitely consistent with our advice. If you
watched our first podcast.
I know, I watched the first podcast.
It's not the time and place. The work Christmas party, no.
Oh, yeah, work Christmas party.
Have a chat, get to know the person. Don't rely on alcohol to get a better outcome in a workplace relationship.
No, like I said, I'm just regular Joe. I don't know anything.
We appreciate your perspective, Joe. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And that's our podcast for today. Thanks, Kate. You're looking great today.
What about me? Where's my compliment? See, like I said, let's just don't get them.
Thanks
No,
for sharing your
I don't
perspective.
want a forced compliment. No, that's a forced compliment. No, thank you.
I didn't even get a chance to finish my compliment. Great work today, Joe.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing your perspective with us.
No worries.
Thanks for joining us.
Cheers.
Bye. Thanks for joining us and listening to the Workplace Inappropriate podcast. As a business owner, I'm very grateful for the other businesses that we work with to make this possible. Our suppliers do an impeccable job and we're so grateful for Premier Sound and Lighting. Justin Myers, thank you for making us sound so good. Dave, in Ireland, we had to go all the way to Ireland to find the best production guy there is, but you make us look good and you keep it classy with your editorial. Thank you very much. To Anthony, our voiceover guy, you're the best voiceover guy there is. Thank you. Jess Ritchie from Transformational Brand Lab, thank you for our branding and imagery. It's just beautiful. Thank you for listening and we'll see you next month.
Thanks for listening to Workplace Inappropriate from workplacepositive.com. Workforce Positive offers a fresh approach to bullying and harassment prevention training. Our training goes beyond the legislative definitions. We apply learning to real examples so that your team are equipped to make the best possible decisions on their conduct. With the Workplace Inappropriate Training Program, employers have access to monthly live training to induct new team members every 30 days, ensuring that you're always current with your legal obligations to actively prevent bullying and harassment at work. We have your policy, process, conduct charter, and training covered, all in one place. Contact workforcepositive.com at www.workforcepositive.com to learn more.